regarding our situation at the border, I want you to look at this book here. The Prince and the Discourses by Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli is considered like one of the greatest analysts of political power or political philosophy of all time by some, and by others as a complete devil. But at the end of this great work, at the end of the Discourses, okay, at the very end of this work by a devil, supposedly by some, rather someone who's interested in just the nuts and bolts of political power, someone who's totally concerned with getting their hands, how can a prince, how can a leader or a state get their hands on the fulcrum of power and keep them there. He ends so here we are, and on the very last page, right here, the very last page, he writes this: "For unless they are checked," meaning certain evils that affect the state, unless they, evils that affect the state, are checked and corrected by some wise hand, they will cause the ruin of the state. The liberality with which the Romans used to grant the privileges of citizenship to strangers had attracted a great many new families to Rome. These began to exercise so great an influence in the elections that it sensibly changed the government. So hear that. The liberality with which the Romans used to grant the privileges of citizenship to strangers, foreigners, had attracted a great many new families to Rome. These began to exercise so great an influence in the elections that it sensibly changed the government and caused it to deviate from the institutions and principles of the men who had been accustomed to direct it. When Quintus Fabius, who was censor at that time, observed this, he had all the new families that had caused this disorder enrolled into 4 tribes, so that, being confined to such narrow limits, they should not corrupt all Rome. Fabius had well comprehended the evil, and promptly and without difficulty applied a suitable remedy, which was so well received by the Republic that it earned him the surname of Maximus. So here we see that these foreigners coming into Rome, because Rome was generous, they said, yeah, we'll give you the rights of citizenship. Rome was so liberal that it invited in all these foreigners that had a sway over the elections. Such a powerful sway over the elections that Rome risked having their entire government changed, taken over, augmented. So we know, like we already said, Machiavelli, this is a book by a devil who's strictly concerned with political power. What is the party that has no moral qualms? What is the party of devilry, of abortion, baby murder, transgenderism, turning our White House into a gay pride banner? That's the Democrat Party. That is the liberal, so-called liberal party. And they're the ones wanting to bring in all the foreigners. And what does Machiavelli say? He ends, this is the apex of his discourses. The apex, the final page. It's the final page of the work of Machiavelli. And he says that foreigners so foreigners come in, they could affect the elections, change the entire government that way by affecting the elections. So don't you think a group of devils would look at that and say, well, that's great. We need to seize the power of, we need to create a voter bloc, a perpetual underclass, bring in these foreigners, get them on let them know they can vote themselves gifts from the public treasuries, and which will eat out the substance of the country, which will cause it to be, which we're already done anyway, 20 trillion in debt, whatever. But eat out the substance of the country, collapse us, and then, according to the old plan of the Illuminists, we will rise like a phoenix in a federated world republic, a global government after we collapse. So that's what's going on here. I feel confident that's what's going on here. We already know the paperwork has come out that the caravan from South America was funded by George Soros, a complete devil, a Nazi collaborator, a Jew who was a Nazi collaborator. That's a Machiavellian devil right there. So there you go, folks. There's your evidence. Last page of Machiavelli's discourse. Let you know what they're doing. Stand strong and fight this. Speak up. Be bold. Be brave. Don't let these devils take over. Be proactive and speak the truth in love. And God bless you all. Shabbat Shalom. Get out there and win some souls, please, people. That's what we need, honestly, though. Soul winning. Win some souls and pray. We need some prayer meetings, and we need some soul winning and some disciple making, and that could solve our problem more than anything. But anyway, all right, God bless. Bye-bye.